All right, everybody, it's me and Smoov. We back with another episode of the Shinobi podcast. We're going to get this thing started by giving a special shout out to the artist Makhami. Makhami is from Haiti. Makhami has some divine and elegant flows, and that's what we're going to get the show started off with. So here we go with what's off his 2021 album entitled Balens Cho. I'm guessing that's Haitian Creole. I'm gonna have to look that up. But this song is called Labou, Labou. All right. So we about to get into it, baby. Welcome to the Shinobi podcast.
Yes,
here we go.
Trouble now. Close the deal before the Pellegrino stop bubbling. Must got different definitions of hustling, cause when we moved that snow off the stoop, we wasn't shoveling. Before you heard me fall off a loop, they was loving to scoop your mom dukes and show you how to shoot like a butter rim. Y'all see the trim, new mop, extra clean balls. Let's take them back to the swamp with the green moss. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Swear to God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Mothers. I got it out the mud, swear to God. God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Mothers. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Can't trade about the muddy waters, you can catch a wave off the name. And we used to make them wave names on money orders. Fuck with the most Raleigh gangs, hungry monsters. Still got the bland quarters for films with your smutty daughters. This last year, I was chilling in my fortress. Went back to the block, they said no cutting corners. I was really picking lemons in the orchards. Now I'm revving the answers on 911 Porsches. I know they tapping my phone, scoping for nonsense. Got horns like Big Ben, overly cautious. They wonder why it's not damp on the force list. You wasn't in the right kind of air forces. I'm in my duffel, trust me, you don't want tussle. Your flow trash, plus you so ass like the muscle. Oh man, I put the pieces to the puzzle. Bitch, I'm the new Rick, Ruben, and Russell. When I'm masterminded the shit with no one else here. That's okay. Staying away from these devils is self-care. Sneaker shopping in Bel Air, I'm on my 12th pair. The closet got more loafers than welfare. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Swear to God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Mothers. I got it out the mud, swear to God. God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Oh, mothers. I got it out the mud, swear to God.
If we have more time, like run that shit back, boy.
Yo. Shout out to Makhami for blessing us with that, man. That's a blessing. That vibration is a blessing right there, man. What you think about that track?
Yo,
how that track make you feel?
If we have more time, like run that shit back, boy. Them horns hit, like you said, them horns hit you in the face first. That shit. Bam, and it captivates you, it keeps you, and then lyrically, like I got the beat. I listened to like the back end of the lyrics. I gotta go back and listen to the rest of them. Mm-hmm. But getting it out the mud, boy. You know you coming out strong. You coming out on some tough shit, and you coming out strong with it. Yeah,
real talk, man.
That was
the whole delivery, bro. Like it's. With me, like with me especially, because you know, I'm a super hip hop head. Like the lyrics, man. Like I'm the type of dude. I'm the type of dude that's just sitting there listening, dissecting, learning, because I understand how vital some of the information is. You know what I'm saying? Like artists that you vibrate with and that you resonate with.
Yeah.
I think you resonate with them because that vibration they give you, you know, from their work. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just love the lyrics because you can really dive deep into it because, you know, I'm into writing, so I know how intimate writing is. You know, I know that writing comes like right out of your soul onto the paper. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So when I'm listening to these lyrics that these artists have written, I'm really listening. Like I'm really listening and developing and understanding, man. And then when you just have the, you know, the percussion and everything else that's added into it to make it like this complete work of art, bro. I just love it, man. So I love lyricism because it helps me identify. I feel like it helps me identify with the artist as a human being more. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. I vibes with that shit. That's a track right there. That's one I have for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to send it to you. I'm telling you, man. This album specifically, I don't know, man. It's almost like it fucking bleeds courage into you as you listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, man. It just gives you these vibrations of like, yo, we can take on whatever is coming. Like whatever's gonna come, even if we don't know, like whatever the fuck you are, like we right here. You know what I'm saying? When you get here, we're gonna be right here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be ready. And we ain't even gonna say we're gonna win, but we're gonna be here ready and we're gonna stand our ground. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that shit makes me feel, man. That's how that track makes me feel. That's how that album has made me feel. Because I told you I've been listening to it for like past 4 days, like on repeat. Just absorbing shit. Because, you know, I've been looking at more like the backstory of the Griselda crew, looking at interviews, and their unity is very organic, you know. And you can't fake that shit, bro. You know when motherfuckers is fake, bro. Like you just know. And it's crazy because you can feel that through, you know, like we were talking about the other day, feeling our vibrations through devices. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that they are, you know, on a real level. Like they love one another on a real level. You know what I'm saying? Even if there's disagreements, you know, we can fix it, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit, like real brotherhood, real sisterhood, shit like that. Like that's the shit that I support. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's why I fuck with them niggas, man. You know?
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, man?
Benny
go ahead.
the Butcher last week. I was saying Benny the Butcher last week. Now this. What was his name again?
Mock Hami.
Mock Hami.
Mock Hami.
This week,
I can spell it. For you. It's MACH. And then you have a what's it called? A hyphen. HOMMY. Mock Hami. You know, like Mach, like a fucking jet.
Yeah.
Like Mach 10. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Top Gun.
You said apostrophe. What was it? Apostrophe what?
HOMMY. So think of mommy with the beginning letter H.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, start looking at his catalogs because it's funny. When I was in Haiti, I was listening to his album that's called "Pray for Haiti." So I was listening to "Pray for Haiti" while I was in Haiti, swinging machetes. Shout out to all my Haitian people. I love y'all, man. Shout out to the Avril brothers. The Avril brothers, they're the ones who actually taught us machete fencing in Haiti. Yeah. So shout out to them, man. They were very short in my life, but they were a very key part of my progression. A very key part. Took me to the next level, man. Just to have that love from strangers that you can can barely communicate with, but you get past the verbal communication and you connect on a human level. You know what I'm saying? And I connected with them so deeply. I can remember when I got on the plane, like headed back, man, I was just like looking out the window, like tears just streaming down, like, it was just, I don't know, man. It was, I felt so much love in the experience, and I can't really describe how it made me feel, man, but it was like, damn, I just came around a bunch of complete strangers and we just fucking bonded, you know, and just like that, man. And it just shows you that we don't have to come from the same places in order to unite, you know, in order to work together, in order to love each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's my extended family now, like for sure. You know, everybody I met over there. Shout out to Michael Rogers. He was my connection. He was my translation, you know. He was a guy that, you know, helped set up a lot of things, you know. Shout out to him for teaching me. Shout out to him for offering to continue to teach me. He lives up in Portland, I believe. So at some point, I'm going to go see him and do some more training because nobody trains in machete fencing here, so it's hard to find someone, you know. But shout out to him. Shout out to Lucas. Lucas was my training partner. It was just me and him. We were there. We were the two students. So we got a lot of repetitions in because there wasn't a lot of students to go around. So we got the experience of the experience, you know.
That's good.
A lot of people don't know, but I got sick. My last 2 days, I got sick, man. So I wasn't able to train my last 2 days I was there. My body, because your body has to acclimate to the microorganisms there, the food, the weather, everything, you know. And all we were doing was strenuous training. Like in the hot ass sun, we're trying to acclimate while doing strenuous training, you know, with machetes and stuff like that, you know. So by the last 2 days, my body was like, nah, man. I had caught like a stomach bug, man. And I was literally on the toilet all day, man. It was fucking miserable. And I'm talking about all day and night too, bro. All day and night too. Just on the toilet.
Up on it.
Back and forth from the toilet to the bed. Make sure I stay hydrated. Make sure I stay hydrated and shit like that. And the last 2 days was kind of like, ugh. So I didn't even get to finish up my last 2 days because I had gotten sick. So I missed out on those 2 days of training. But still, even with that, I wouldn't change that whole situation like at all. It was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful experience, and it leveled me up as a man, and as a king, man. I think if you have that title, man, you better fucking live up to it in every way. You know what I'm saying? There's no perfect ascension, but as long as you're ascending, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
If you gonna claim that anyway, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to everybody that cooked for us. Everybody that washed our clothes. Like they ain't got dishwashers. I mean, clothes like clothes washing machines. They ain't got that shit over there. These people were washing all of our shit by hand. You know, they were doing like they lived that simple life, man. It was very simple. They weren't surrounded by distractions. That was a big thing I noticed. They're not surrounded by a bunch of distractions. They're just surrounded by the world they live in, you know. Yeah. Of course, you know, cell phones and shit are starting to kind of get over there more and more, and you know, eventually that's only going to grow, you know. But I'm happy I was able to see it in that present state.
Yeah.
Because it really showed me a different aspect of the world that wasn't my own. Because, you know, here in Florida, like, we live in luxury. We pretty much live a life of luxury here. We work hard as fuck. Like, don't get it fucked up. But we have a lot of luxury here, bro. And it made me appreciate my luxuries more because I have a ton of them.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about a ton of them. And I don't think I would have been able to realize this if I wouldn't have went over there and experienced not having hot water, not having power, like this being a normal life. It made me be like, this is how these people live every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, they still getting by. They still handle business.
Self-sufficient. So I really learned how resilient the Haitian people were. I learned how like self-sufficient they are, and that they're not sweating the bullshit. Like if the lights go out, we just gonna continue with what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? we just gonna go find a way to get some light. You know what I'm saying? Another source of light or something like that. You know, it's a different mentality. It's a different mentality bred out of, you know, that experience. You know what I'm saying? When you're in that shit, it's like, this is what I'm in. I might as well be in it until I can get out of it, but I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So accept that I'm in it, but I accept that I don't have to always be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was shout out to all my Haitian folks, man. Much love to y'all. Much love.
Definitely.
So how you doing, man? What's going on in your life? What you got any good new news?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed like always. I happened to get I got a text earlier. So everybody knows like I'm into acting. And I had a link get sent to me for the Biltmore out in Asheville that they're doing like a casting for they're doing like extras in this casting because they're doing like a movie whatnot out there, and so somebody sent me a link for it and was like, you know, you might not be in a major role, but here's like some extra stuff like you can be in. And I was like, oh shit, like that's down the damn road. So
hell yeah.
So they're doing all the casting stuff in January, which is perfect because that's literally tomorrow. So, so I can throw my hat into that and literally be down the road because they're asking for locals and everything like that. So that's perfect. So that was something unexpected that happened literally just this morning. So, and it happened while I was in class.
I hate to cut you off, but
you good?
Did you realize that we're doing a New Year's Eve episode?
We are.
This shit was meant to be.
rolling straight into it like that, boy.
That shit just hit me. I'm like, damn, going into the new year.
First podcast, episode ending the this year going into the new year. So we're starting off hella strong for sure.
And it just happened to fucking fall. It just happened to just play out like this.
Yeah.
Telling you, man, trust the signs, man. Trust the fucking signs.
True. So
but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. It's been good though. I've been blessed working.
Tell me more about this extras thing.
So I've got to read more into it. Like I got to read some of it because I was in class at the time that I got the link. But I don't know what kind of movie it's going to be. Granted, like people that know the Biltmore, usually the Biltmore, it's got like this mysterious kind of vibe to it. Like they decorate for Christmas.
The Biltmore house, the big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like lures and stuff about haunted rooms and stuff like that. People say are actually real. So I'm like, who am I to say they're not? You know.
We know you like horror.
I do. I love me some horror. So I'm just like, yo, I'm ready to go see that. And so, I think how they said it, it's either when I was doing like a quick read, it was like it's like a dining hall kind of thing. So being an extra in that, and I'm like, oh well, you know, that works out for me. So
that's perfect, man. Just to be on the set
yeah.
and to see the environment is going to be everything.
Yeah. And the funny thing, I feel like it all ties together because I also have tickets to go to the Biltmore. Not next Saturday. So the 7th, I've got tickets to go. So it's like a whole like tour and everything also, and still the Christmas stuff is still up. So I'll get to see all that, and I'm like, this is perfect. The perfect like line up everything. So while I'm down there, if I can read into everything now, when I'm down there, I can kind of knock out another stone or knock out another bird while I'm down that way. And once I come home, I'm like, all right, here's what I got to do now, get this stuff sent over and everything. So it's all lined up. It literally lined up perfect.
Good shit.
I wasn't even prepared for it. And it just worked out and it's on its way. So it's like, hey,
it's almost like you can go scouting now.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that for sure. So
good shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Biltmore House. I may have been there as a kid, maybe on a field trip, but I know I haven't been as an adult over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been some years since I've been.
All right. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's what I was getting ready to say. Let's kick it off now. I was letting you know, let's kick it off now.
All right.
The meat stuff.
Well, so I had some things I would like to discuss.
Let's hear it.
And I pretty much broke it down into changes and decision making. We could talk for 3 days. We could talk for 3 days about that shit. So I made like a couple key points. So feeling the changes. So how you feel throughout the metamorphosis that is life. Like how are these changes affecting, your mood, and all this comes like full circle because that in turn will affect your decision making. You know what I'm saying? Accepting the changes. So actually accepting that things are the way they are, and not wishing they were different because they are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But you can adapt to that and evolve that as well. You know what I'm saying? So you can change, you can create the change. And that goes into the next thing of you actually creating the change. Not waiting for the change, not looking for the change. You actively creating that change. Whatever that change is for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to go with the first one, the feelings. And I'll start off by just kind of diving into my own life. I've been feeling change my whole life, but I think now, especially like at my age now, I'm going through such a shift here. Just such a shift, man, that I'm finding myself going through all these things that I stated, like the feeling of the change, believing that I am who I was, not accepting like, bro, you're different. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. This year especially has been, it just feels like bombardment with change. It's like it's just hitting you. Like we were talking the other day about, the boxing and life just hitting you from all directions. Like that's how it's been feeling, But throughout this process, I felt a great number of things throughout this process. In the beginning, I felt lost until I understood that I wasn't losing anything, and that took like a shift in my perception. I had to realize that even though I'm letting this old life go or this old person go, like it's time for that shift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, accept that shift because it's time. Everything in your life is showing you that it's time. It's like if you just sit back and pay attention to all these events happening in your life and everything being attracted to you, it's telling you where you should be, you know? And then it will also show you that if you choose the opposite route, you'll start to experience things that'll kind of hit you in the head and be like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be here doing this. Like this isn't me anymore. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you still think that you're that old person when you're really not. So you're acting out of character when you actually backtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you ascend to a new level, there's really no going back. You know what I'm saying? You can't backtrack from that. You can't unlearn what you've learned. You know what I'm saying? So having those realizations and realizing that everything that you're feeling, everything that you feel is changing, it really is for a purpose that's there to help you. Like it's a helping hand. This isn't something that's trying to hold you back or something that's trying to challenge you to the point to where you either quit or resent it. But this is actually something that's guiding you along. This change has become a guide, you know, instead of this thing that just changes that I'm uncomfortable with. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit of what I've felt as far as like feelings. I felt confusion. I felt joy from changes. I felt frustration. I felt comical from changes. You know, I felt a lot of gratitude and grateful for changes. You know, I felt all these things, but I think now things are like kind of settling, and now it's like I'm no longer having to like fight with this other thought process that's trying to like live in the past and live in the future. Like you can't be in two places at once. You know what I'm saying? And then you just accept that. You just accept like, damn, I'm in this. This is how it's going. Like I'm really gonna go with how it's going and just see how far we can take this. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna backtrack or go out of character by backtracking. You know what I'm saying? I need to focus on pressing forward. You know what I'm saying? And becoming a chameleon and just adapting to the changes that come, you know, because it's all going to be unexpected, unknown. Some things you can predict sometimes. But just like dealing with that and really just not wanting it to be different, like accepting that of what it is, you know, not having this feeling of, I wish it was this, I wish it was that, but being in it and being like, okay, this is how it is, but I can shift some things around, like within this whole thing, to where like if I'm somewhere I don't want to be, even if it takes a little while, I'm gonna get myself out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah.
So how about you, man?
Man, I feel like 2022 has been a mountain full of emotions, a mountain full of feelings, a mountain full of changes for sure. You know, bringing in the new year with my family and just shit just going the way I wanted it to. Like everything was working out, everything, new doors was opening up left and right. Started school, everything like that. And then all of a sudden it just like flipped, and I felt I felt edgy at times because I was just like, why in the fuck, is this shit going on? Confused. And there's times where like I hate saying like I was depressed at times, but there were times that like within the year that just kind of like I just had a depressive moment. And I was like, yo, this shit's just not going, everything just switched up all of a sudden. Everything just changed all of a sudden for me, and it's not how I wanted it to be for the good either. Like it went south fast, and so you slip into that like slight depression area, and then I was like, you know what, that is one spot I do not want to be in ever. So as soon as I hit it, I was like, fuck this, like I gotta clear myself. I gotta get back on my path, and so there's been that depression, but there's always the joy that comes right after that depression state of I've made it, and it's not that I made it of I got to my goals. I made it because I didn't let this dark keep me at all. So I had that joy, and now like I'm on a high right now. Like towards the end of the year, like this, I went from that joy, that depressed, to now I'm on a high because I'm getting ready to. Everything's starting to flow back where it was at one point. Now it's all gotten back to where it was, and that change does something to you as a person. Like you said, adapting to it. Like you gotta work. You gotta change. You gotta kind of, like you said, adapt yourself to those different changes, those emotions, everything, and get back to where you get back to how you were as a person and not who you were as a person. So 2022 has been, how everybody says, a roller coaster.
Like it's just been like the stock market.
Yes. Oh my fucking God.
Fucking here. Yeah.
Flatline out and then it comes back up. I'm like, it's all good though. So it's as you can see, like I'm all smiles, I'm all positive because man, it's
skin glowing and shit. Y'all see it?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Glowing,
That's how we do.
and I deal with a lot of shit, nigga. I got a lot of responsibilities, nigga.
Hell yeah. That's that whole putting yourself first and everything, making sure you take care of yourself so you can handle those responsibilities after too.
That's key, man. That is key. I'm gonna preach that forever, bro. Like, get yourself together before you can help other motherfuckers. I'm telling you, man, because if you, I'm telling you, you keep draining yourself for other people, you're gonna start to resent them, and you're gonna start to become bitter, and it's gonna get ugly. Yep. So you better give yourself the time that you deserve, man, and don't let people commandeer your time. Fuck that.
If they say fuck you, peace. Be done with them, because that's your sign. That was your sign of, oh, this was perfect timing to let them go. Yeah,
because this person don't respect me at all.
Nah.
This person don't respect me so perfect. Much that they want to intrude on me and get mad that I don't want them to.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Gotta fucking move it along. So, but it's been a roller coaster. But I'm excited because this change now is what's propelling me for the future, for 2023 for sure. And I got high hopes for sure. I got high hopes, and some new shit coming along. I'm really hoping by the midway of the year, like, to be fully diverse into like the entertainment world and be done with this 9 to 5, 9 to 6 bull. So,
bro, I don't even hope no more. At this point, I just know now.
Yeah,
I just know now.
Yeah.
I've been shown too many signs. I have too much of a deep connection with something that's beyond us that now that I just know. I no longer hold out hope. I just make sure that I do my part. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to touch on, you were talking about that, like that temporary moment of depression.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that because, you know, when I was younger and I really didn't know how to regulate my emotions or anything like that, I feel like depression would hold me under the water for a much longer period.
Yeah.
Like it would just hold me there until, you know, while it was suffocating me, just holding me underwater, and I'm just fucking suffocating and struggling and really like seeing no way out. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, that was my mentality. That's what I allowed that depression to do to me. So you talk about the temporary feeling it. I've learned, you know, over time and, you know, lots of my own therapies and things like that. How can I say it?
Just let it out.
Oh, thank you. You really, I'm trying to find my thoughts. My head's like all over the place.
Yeah.
I have one of those brains that wants to say so much that it says a lot at once, and it's just like, damn, let me grab the thought that I was just thinking. So that's why I need you. That's why I need you to help keep me on track.
Squirreled off, man. We get squirreled off. It's all good.
But I feel like it is just small pockets of that. Like it's small pockets of that now. I no longer allow it to hold me under. I no longer allow it to fucking drown me and keep me without oxygen and, you know, keep me, you know, kind of zombified in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Now it's almost like I'm like watching for it. Like when it appears, I know what it is when it appears, and I got to be like, hey, I see you, motherfucker. I see you over there.
Yeah.
It's like, we ain't going there. It's like, nah, we ain't going there. Because I see you trying to find this small little crack in my armor so you can penetrate me. You know what I'm saying? So if I allow my armor to fucking be cracked and allow that penetration to come in, I need to be aware that, hey, we got a security breach. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, just not allowing those moments to keep you under for too long, man. I've learned that that's a must. Like when you're moving, when you want to fucking move forward, bro. Like you can't allow that shit to hold you down, hold you back.
Yeah.
Can't allow other people's energy to hold you down, hold you back. It's like you got to do what's good for you, man. You got to separate yourself from anything and everything that's just taken away from you, you know?
And I used to think it was inevitable. Like you're gonna, for you to progress forward in life, like you're gonna have to go through a depression time. And I was like, after I learned that it's something that you can control, that you allow in, or you can kick it to the curb, basically. After I learned that, I was like, okay, I got this shit in the bag, because this is I run what happens to me. And if I allow that darkness, if I allow that depression to take over, it's not gonna be any good, because then I'm not gonna be useful for nothing. I'm gonna be a waste to anything I put my efforts into, and that's not gonna ever be good for me, for anybody else. Because you know, I you know, right now, if I'm going through some shit, you know, in that depression state, like I'm not gonna be any good to what we got here at all. I'm not gonna be good to you as a partner. I'm not gonna be good to the people that are out there, you know, trying to understand and gain some knowledge. I'm thinking like, this motherfucker's just here, you know. But that's something everybody's got to learn is everybody, you're in a depression state. You got there somehow, you can work your way out of that. Slowly do it. It's gonna take some time, but keep working at it. Don't give up. Don't quit on yourself. Because it's you. Like you said earlier, you gotta work on yourself before anybody else. And if you can't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of nobody else at all. So
what's helped you come to that conclusion? What have you done? What practices have you put in place in your life?
Of what you mean, like
to like
helping
combat depression and not sink into the depths.
Oh, I got people. I got a whole squad, and when I say a whole squad, we few, but we'll go to war with a million damn people and walk out of that bitch and be like, yeah, who else wants some? Like we about that in my squad, and I've got people I can talk to, which is amazing. Because some adults aren't gonna, like your parents. Some people's parents aren't gonna understand, what everybody what their child goes through, what we go through, and everything. They say they've been in those shoes and stuff, but times are different. We're in this new modern time, and everybody's got something to say about every damn thing.
But themselves.
But themselves. So it's having people to talk to, getting that shit out. I work out, like after our podcast. Granted, I'm not depressed now, but after our podcast now, like I'm going to the gym to go work out and shit. But like getting that out, having that outlet to sometimes it's just aggression and anger that's pent up, which causes you to be depressed, and you just go in and you're like, fuck it, hash that shit out. Meditating has been so fucking big for me, man. I can't express how important that has been, of being able to do and incorporate in my life now to combat any kind of downhill slope for me.
How does meditation work for you? Because a lot of curious people will ask me about meditation, like I have all the answers for them and I don't, and I can pretty much tell them, like, over time I've derived my own form of meditation, like what works for me in my life, and I'm like, I don't have a lot of information for you. You got to go find it. Like you got to get in tune with you.
Yeah, that's it. And it's harder meditating is harder to describe to somebody that has never done it, or some people that do it, but they're not getting what they want from it.
They have misconceptions. They've watched too many yoga videos and this and that, and they think that's meditation. They think it's this one thing that you're supposed to do a specific kind of way,
But for me, man, when I meditating, for me, like at one point, like I was never sink in with earth, sink in with nature kind of person at all. And once,
why would you say that was?
Society.
Was your environment?
Yeah. Just coming up and not even being spoon fed, more of like spatula smacked with of like, this is how you do it, and I'm not against people that are in any other religion and stuff, but everybody's like, you do this praying and you talk to this person and you sin, and or you got to go confess and do all this stuff, and I'm like, why? Like who put them in that light?
Yeah.
Like this was, I will, let me back up for it. This is where I started like questioning a bunch of shit, is when I I was probably a sophomore in high school when I finally kind of like was like, why? Like, I get, you know, the Bible and everything, and I get he died for our sins and this and that, but everybody's like, you got to do it this way, you got to do it the Christian way, and everything. And I'm like, well, who's to say that him preaching to me, he's deeming me unworthy, and you know, he's telling me God don't like what I'm doing, but how he know what God's thinking? You know, how tells like you speaking to the big man. Like, are you speaking to the big man directly? And if so, I want to speak to the big man because I got some personal questions to ask this man.
It's like you closer than me.
Yeah, like what
we
makes
both
you,
human, but you closer than me.
Yeah, but you say we equal, so but yet we all of a sudden there's this gap. So like, why is that? And music was a big thing, and I was like, listen, I'm a motherfucker. I love music. It don't fucking matter. Like, but to be told that, what I listen to is not a delight and God's eyes, then I was like. But everybody that has a voice should pronounce his name, should, you know, proclaim his name and make joy to his name and everything. So it was like these people that are doing like contemporary rap and contemporary like singing and all this stuff, like it's not the right way apparently. So I questioned a bunch of stuff, and when I finally just like distanced myself from it, I was like, okay, I gotta find something that makes me feel free and makes me feel like me. And I battled with that for a long time, trying to figure that out and figure out who I was.
What would you say was most confusing throughout that time period? What would you say was most confusing about that whole thing? You know, about religion and things.
It's so much. It's what's right, what's wrong, who's right, who's wrong. It seems like you could never do enough to be good enough.
Gotcha.
And I was like, that just doesn't fly with me, you know?
Yeah.
So I ended up, you know, where I am now of when I finally was able to legit sink my toes in the sand and be submerged by the water and feel free, you know, like I literally felt myself literally come out of this cocoon, and I was like, oh, this is it. Like I felt like everything just rolled straight off of me just now. I didn't feel stressed out. I didn't feel any kind of burden, you know.
What did you do to gain that freedom to get to that point?
I just allow myself to connect back to my roots. Like I said earlier, like I finally sunk my toes in the sand and kind of had to close my eyes and come to, and was just like, all right, you know, flashes of my past growing up and flashes of where I want to be, kind of came to me while I was just sitting there in my meditation state of how I am. Like that's how it was for me. Is everything kind of flashed at me, and I was like, okay, this feels right. This is how, you know, everybody, to me, I was like, this is how everybody should feel, is open and free like that. And it was perfect. It just felt, like I said, it made me feel so at peace. It made me more happy and everything. So, that change, that was a huge change for me. And then finally, you know, learning how to meditate in my own way, was perfect, because everybody's got their own style, like you said. Everybody's got their own style, but but reconnecting with Earth, being able to just be a part of what I actually came from, and it made me just feel, it made everything, like I said, just feel right. So here we are now, in my meditation state. It plays when I'm stressed out, even when I'm at work. Like I can sit in my seat at work and just be like, all right, come to just a little bit, little 2-3 minute kind of thing, and come to and be like, all right, everything's gonna be good. Speaking positive affirmations to myself, because that's a key thing. If you're not boosting yourself first, nobody's gonna boost you at all. Until you put that support team in, you're on it for yourself for a while. So I count that as a big thing that meditation's done for me.
Can you take people through your process, like of how it's worked for you? And I'll go after you. Like what
meditation's worked for me?
Yeah, like how, like when you first started, how are you kind of like dabbling into things to figure out your own process?
Because
it's like an experimental phase in the beginning.
It is.
Is it experimental?
It is, and it's because it's. I'm trying to think. Like everybody's got their. Some people do, yoga and they're meditating. Some people sit Indian style, meditate. Me, I can't do that no more because I got to stretch my hips out and stuff again to even consider sitting like that again. But
that's another thing. I'm glad you said that. That's another like misconception. People think they have to be in that pose to meditate and things.
No,
you don't.
Not at all. But I did find out like. I'm an aquatic creature, so anytime I'm around water, I feel at home. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Like I love being submerged underwater.
Oh yeah,
like head covered, completely covered, and they're like, "Well, ain't you afraid of drowning?" And I'm like, no, like I can swim. I'm fine. I'm in here trying to recharge myself. I'm in here trying to. I got to reset myself. That's what I'm doing first. In my meditation,
like down to a cellular level.
Yes, like I'm here to reset myself. And in that midst, you see, the things. Once you kind of flow into your meditation and you got it all down, once I started like resetting myself, I was able to kind of feel, all right, I was starting to get a gist of energy flow, of how that worked and everything. And then the recharge state come in, and I was like, oh, I love the recharge state. The recharge state is fantastic because it's a whole vibe. It's a legit whole vibe. You see and feel everything that you're like, all right, this is coming to me in the future. This is what's coming for me, here in these next few days or whatnot. And when I come out of the water, like I'm like, I do it like I'm in a movie all the time. Like I come out all slow as shit. So like my hair and everything, and then the water like slowly in my eyes. And I'll sit like right here where my eyes are above, just barely above the water.
Like
and
a
I'll
gator.
just sit there and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like looking around and shit. But I'm just like, I'm letting my body, like, that's, to me, that was like my mental's got that reset and recharge. Now I'm letting my body get that reset and recharge now. So now I'm focusing on that part.
It's almost like when you come up slow, it's almost like it melts away from you as you rise up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I've also, and to each their own, because I'm a free flow person. So like when I'm in the water, I like to flow. I like to let the water move with me and through me. And so when I'm recharging like that, when I let the water sit just below my eyes, I'm moving my arms, moving my hips. I'm kind of like letting water just move. Like I feel like a water bender at this point. Like I'm moving water. I'm letting water move through me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm letting all that old energy out of me again. And
and you release.
And I was you were yes you were. I was ready to say that like you feel all that leave you for real, and it is, I kid you not, it is the best feeling in the world because once you fully rise out of the water, like you feel so much lighter. Like you're on top of the world for real when you do that. Like when you come out and you're just like, oh, all right. But
you realize that you realize that you don't become like a rock in the water.
No, you literally you come in
flow
there,
with
like,
it.
You flow with it. Yeah.
You have to you have to cooperate with it, or it's gonna crash all over the place. Like if it goes a certain way, like trust the flow.
Yeah, and
just let your body go with it.
Mm-hmm. And I did. It's a trial and error thing. It's a trial and error thing because you're trying out what you like. For me, when I was in the water, like at first, like free flowing wasn't working for me because I was splashing shit everywhere. Like I was like, I want this to be even flow, smooth, slow. Like there should be no splashing whatsoever. Like you should be able to. If I'm moving slow and everything, I should be able to see like ripples above the water, and that's it. Mm-hmm. You know, and not splashes of water here and there and a mess of water everywhere. So it took me a while, but I had to train my body to do that. I had to work it, and it's not. And when I say train, I'm not saying like a physical like let me train my body to do this and everything. Is I train my body to just let loose, let the water do the moving. You know. Mm-hmm. So it worked out really well. And like I said, not everybody's a water person. Some people are wood people, earth people. And you know, I feel like to me, being an earth person, you'd be somewhere like the forest, you know, the woods, somewhere like that. Don't be kind of creepy and be out there kind of bothering people and shit, but be out there, you know, like put your hands on the trees and let it just like you soak in. Trees have so much damn energy themselves, you know, but put your hands in and feel that flow through you, you know.
Yeah, because like I will feel trees, like I'll touch trees and like actually feel them, like they have a vibration. They give us pretty much our breath, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Staying connected, like going into earth now, like staying rooted and grounded, man. So you got the flow of the water, and now you got the earth. You know, you have your parks, you have your nature trails. You have a lot of different places you can go that can immerse you in earth. You know what I'm saying? You could just go outside in your yard and just take your shoes off just to get your feet. Just to get your feet in the grass, you know what I'm saying? Like, connect with the earth, man. Connect with that magnetic, you know, that magnetic pull of the earth, because we're all a part of that shit, you know. What are some other good earthy things to do? The beach, get your feet in the sand.
The beach is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the beach is fantastic. And
That's a perfect mixture.
I was about to say the same thing. That's the best of every element right there. Except, well, I was about to say fire, but you can have fire out on the sand, out on the beach too.
The sun is right out there.
It's right there. Yeah, like so.
That's why I love the beach. That's a big thing on why I love the beach. It has everything. You have the breeze, you have the air, you have the water, you have the earth, you have the heat of the sun and the energy of the sun.
Yeah.
Everything is in like perfect harmony there, man. That's why I love being at the beach. That's probably my favorite place to meditate is the beach. Although I haven't really been up into any mountains or anything. I want to go feel that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like some mountains in Colorado or something like that. Cause because I know it's a different energy signature up there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go over there, you know, by a waterfall or, you know, just amongst a bunch of trees and just meditate, you know, meditate with my back on a tree, you know, just on the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's a different world. I've not been hiking in a while. It's probably been, I think last March might have been when I went, when it was actually deep, like warm outside still, but a little cool. And hiking challenges you because you've got to touch nature to get to moving. You know, getting up to the top. Like you got to touch the rocks. You got to feel it. There's water flow. There's water flow that flows through the ground by itself. Already is naturally made. And there's nothing man-made about it. So like you got to. Doing a hike period is the best because that the altitude, once you get up to the top, the air smells, feels so much different than it does, you know, down on the ground. It's so much more crisper and you feel like your breath gets taken when you get to the top of any kind of mountain because you look over and you're like, oh wow, like this is what we look like to a mountain. This is what we look like on the bottom. And then once you finally once you captivate that and take it all in, you know, you finally start to realize like I can breathe a whole lot better here. You can think a whole lot more clear at the top. And that's just your body finally like coming through and getting that energy from nothing but the nature because it's just you and nature there. Like there'll be people around, but it's just you and nature around, and that's it. I gotta get back into it. That's one thing I love though is hiking. Like I definitely gotta get back into that.
I gotta get back on my nature trails. There's certain nature trails that are like they out there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when I go out there, dude, as soon as I walk into it, I feel like as I'm on that pathway, walking down that pathway, I feel like the trees and everything are just like hugging me with this energy as I'm out there. Almost like it's nestling me like a mother would. You know what I'm saying? It's baby.
Like
you know,
like welcome back.
Yeah, and I used to go out to one that was pretty far out. I used to go out there a bit, man. And every time I went out there and just disconnected, like. You don't hear a car out there. You don't hear a person out there unless it's somebody else on the trail. It really does something to you to where you just get this calm, this peace, and everything. It's like this stillness, this much needed stillness that you know you normally don't have in your everyday life because you're doing so much. You know, you're doing so many things, having so many responsibilities, man. So. If you guys can get out to a nice nature trail or something like that, man, and just like don't take your phone out there, like leave it in the car, like have some form of communication just in case, but like leave it in your car or something, like just disconnect from any type of technological anything and just completely immerse yourself in that nature. Put your fucking hands in the dirt, touch the trees, feel the leaves, like take a up close and personal look. Watch what the animals are doing. Watch how they're living. Watch how they're surviving. You know what I'm saying? Like soak in that natural environment, man. That's how you get that sage jutsu, man.
Hell yeah.
That nature energy, man. You're not gonna become a sage if you don't take in that nature energy, if you don't sit still and absorb it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect analogy right there.
That's real talk.
That's perfect.
That's the shit I imagine when I'm out there doing it. I'm like, you know what? I'm collecting sage chakra. You know what I'm saying? I'm collecting that nature energy. You know? But yeah, man, that shit's huge, man. That's definitely a biggie for me too. Like the nature thing, that's usually my first recommendation. I'm like, get out of the house, get away from your phone, and go see something natural, something that naturally occurs in life. Nothing not something that's synthetic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here's a thought of mine that I've always had too, and I tried to figure it out, and then it didn't hit me until like a couple of days ago when I was like, that makes a lot more sense now. So you know how like monks, when more Asian descent and everything. I think couple. Well, that's all Asian just about. But like how monks would when they go to become like a legit monk, they are going up into the mountains, secluded, legit away from everybody. And I was like, I never understood silent. That. I was like, well, yeah. And I was like, how was that? Why? In my head, I was like, why do they do that? And that's because now you're away from everybody. Like you're not getting the people interactions to understand what's going on around you. And it didn't dawn on me because I was watching an episode. I was watching a history episode the other day, and he was talking about the monk that was there was doing a strength test, and he literally was breaking boards with his forehead. And I was like, this motherfucker's wild as shit, yo. Like, you got to that takes a lot of time mentally and physically to be able to just take some and not know like piece of just wood. This was a thick ass like board, and this man literally goes 2 deep breaths in, exhales out, and then looks at the camera and just goes bam, and it's you can see it literally snap perfect. And I was like,
they do that shit with metal too.
I was like, oh. Yeah, and I was like, this shit is crazy. And then, like I said, I come to realize like the motherfuckers are legit meditating, in a mental state. They are in a mental state all the time of meditation wherever they go, and they've worked their body. They've worked their body to not be bulky, but toned and mentally strong at that same time. Made of
iron.
This shit's made of iron. And I was like, that shit is so wild to me. It threw me for such a loop, but I was like, I just had never understood why like they had all this sanctuaries like built into the mountains, sitting on top of mountains, secluded to where you have to crawl. Like you physically either have to like crawl your way up to the top, or find some way of actually getting there, because they're not easy to get to.
You remember in Avatar, all the air temples, you had to be an airbender to get there.
Yeah, you had to be an airbender to get to them. So I was like, man, it was the coolest thing to see, and it brought me to some realization of like, okay, like I've done some mental toughening stuff. I was like, but I've never put myself through that kind of like, I'm not even gonna call it rigorous training. Like that's training, but that's a it's a training that's like that they legit desire to have and want, and they continue to do it day in and day out. But that was just a thought that I had. So now we can come back to what this.
Well, I also wanted to touch on. I also wanted to touch on Batman as well, and Batman Begins when that guy gave him that flower and told him to take it up to the top of that mountain. Remember that? In Batman Begins?
Yeah.
So those types of places, they're put in place because not everybody is going to have the willpower to take that path, to take that higher path, even if that path is a little treacherous to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because without doing that, Bruce Wayne would have never become Batman, or at least not the version that he is now,
Yeah.
Because he went up there, he trained with the League of Shadows. They pretty much trained him how to be a ninja. And he came back and got a bat suit and started using those tactics and techniques. You know what I'm saying? But that wouldn't he would have never been the Batman that criminals are afraid of and that people love and hate. You know what I'm saying? He would have never been that if he would have got halfway up the mountain and been like, you know what, I'm going back down. You know what I'm saying? He saw it all the way. He saw it all the way through. He took on the challenges that arose. He took those on, and then when it was time, he separated himself. You know what I'm saying? And then walked his own path. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. How those places. It's always some kind of like, you know, like we were talking about symbolism that last episode. That's like a symbol. Like if you can make it here, you could pretty much go anywhere in the world and make it. You know what I'm saying? But are you willing to do what it takes to get there? You know, wherever there is. You know what I'm saying? What do I want to say? Let's get into creating the change in your life. This year, how it started and how it's ending. What change do you feel that you created personally, like with no influence from nobody? What changes do you feel that you created personally that makes your beginning of the year different than now at the end of this year?
Changes. Can't really say I had like too much move without an influence. Because this year was a big influence kind of year for me. But I know what you mean.
Okay.
Like weight. I would say weight wise for me has always been an issue. But I took initiative of that. Very beginning. Well, I mean, I say beginning. It was in January, but it was a thing that I was like, you know what? Like I've toyed with it too much. You know, and at one point, like it was hard for me to walk around. It was hard for me to breathe and shit. And now, I had to take matters in my own hand and make those changes myself. One, because I had a niece, so I wanted to be able to, you know, be active as I get older. Be active enough to still you know, be there for her and participate in her life with things. But for myself too, I never wanted to be where I was at, and I got myself there by the decisions that I had made. And that was the tough part, is having to take that accountability of being like, I put myself in those situations that I made the decisions and fucked up where I did, and that caused me to be where I was weight wise. But then when I finally, you know, was like, I'm taking direction, or I'm taking charge of, you know, the new direction I'm about to go with this, and drop this way and do all that. And I did wonders, because I went from 385 to 300 in less than a year. And it was in a good way and a bad way, because I was eating right, I was working out and everything, but there would be times where I just didn't want to eat, and and all I was doing was just drinking. I was drinking a little bit of water here and there, so I was killing my body at the same time. So now, you know, I've got that shit back on track. So we ain't gotta worry, America. Don't worry. Like I'm not out here. I'm not out here killing myself and throwing up and stuff. I promise you, I'm not.
I've learned you got to really be conscious of what's going into you, bro. Like,
and that was huge.
Not let it like slip. Like, really, it starts with like it's self-love, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much is your life worth to you? Because going in the opposite direction, that's going to lead you to not only death, but probably a very uncomfortable, painful one with suffering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, how much do you love yourself? Is loving yourself worth going to the gym fucking 4 days a week, 5 days a week, like dedicating it like dedicating and prioritizing fitness? Like, is that worth it for you in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to become something that is life, not just a part of life. It is life.
Definitely.
You know, it is life. It is health. Like, this is what it is. And I'm doing it, you know, for many reasons, but the main reason is so I can be healthy, so I can be around, so I'm not suffering. We do enough fucking mental and spiritual suffering. Our bodies don't have to suffer too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just really get on top of, and I'm speaking to everyone, even myself, like really get on top of what goes into your body. Do your best to be moderate with things, man. We, especially in this society, we overindulge in everything, you know. That also comes from a lack of gratitude as well. But moderate things, man. Eat smaller portions. Your body is an instrument that is adaptive. Like, you start to eat smaller portions and get accustomed to it, that's going to become your norm. You don't have to have these big portions, because you're kind of fooling, when you have these giant portions, you're fooling your brain into thinking, I need all of this to be full. You know what I'm saying? So the whole time you're just overindulging, because you're, you know, tricking your brain into what full actually is, or you're tricking your body because your body's used to this amount. So it's like, okay, if this is the amount he usually puts in there, then this is the amount that we operate at. You know what I'm saying? So if you take out less, then the body's going to be like, okay, we're going to have to adapt. If he has less, then this is what we're going to be operating on. And then, you know, everything in the body has to figure out what goes where so it can use it most efficiently. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to overindulge in things, man. And that's the discipline. That's not just food, you know what I'm saying? That's with everything.
Yeah. That was a big thing that I learned, even in that cycle of me dropping the weight and everything. I'm a huge pasta person. Like, I love pasta. I love it. It's
see, and being a trainer, I know that that's the enemy.
It's not. It is terrible for you. It is so terrible for you. And even
I love it too, though. I love it too.
I talked to my nutritionist, and she was like, yeah, you're gonna have to, you know, it's gonna take some time, but you're gonna have to, you know, steer yourself away from it. And I was like, oh God, like this is me. Like, I love pasta. I can't. It's hard to do that. But I disciplined myself. I was like, okay, well, for me to be done with it, I've got to go smaller first. Instead of these big ass plates, these big ass bowls, I need to spoonful here, you know, and work down from it. And it worked out. It worked really well for me doing that. And like I said, I went from 380 to 300 in less than a year, and it was that and cutting out sodas.
If I had the applause on, I'd put that on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But it was something that was just like, I had to look at myself in the mirror and was like, I'm responsible for me. You know, I'm responsible for how I present myself. And after a while, I wasn't liking how I looked at all. And that self love is where I realized I was like, I can't find somebody that's going to love me if I'm not loving me at all. And that hit me hard, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna die fucking solo, and I was like, that's gonna be terrible and shit. And I was just like, so I'm like beating my ass in my head about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this shit myself then. So let me have at it, and I did everything in moderation. And even today, like, I do it now. Do everything in moderation. So if I do have like some kind of pasta, it's enough to last me like a week, because I put maybe a spoon and a half or like a cup and a half on the plate, and that's it. But I've got hella veggies like no other.
Well, the thing is, getting into to piggyback off of you, what I've learned in my food journey is alternatives to those things.
Yeah.
Because I love pasta. I'm a big lover of pasta, but now I use the brown rice pasta instead. So I'm finding alternatives for things that I already love because I don't want to let go of the shit I love, you know?
Yeah.
But I also know what it is, and I refuse to keep putting that into myself. So the education is huge. When it comes to food, you have to educate yourself. Like, you really have to treat it seriously and really educate yourself on food. You have to figure out who you are, what your body needs, how your body reacts to certain foods, all that shit, man. Like, we really have to look deep, you know, to keep ourselves afloat and keep ourselves going. We don't want to just be walking around clueless, shoveling shit into our mouth, you know what I'm saying? Shoveling things into our brain that we absorb. Like, we don't want to be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that moderation.
I've been a person, I love fruit, but I'm not one of those that's like, oh, let me go grab it and fucking eat it. Like, I would do that with pineapples and like green grapes, like the white grapes. I would do that all day long. But if those aren't around, I'm like, I'm fucking stuck with an apple and an orange and a banana and
you gotta explore, man, dude.
Because that's what
traveling.
I'm used to. That's what I'm used to. Is like
yeah,
all, like exotic fruits now. Because at first I didn't even like mangoes until I came down and stayed with you for like that week. I was like, yo,
wasn't that your first one?
New fucking thing. That was my first one. I was like, oh shit.
And that one was like right off the tree, bro. That was like right off the tree, man.
I loved it.
I didn't fall in love with mangoes until I moved here.
Yeah.
So same thing, because we don't get mangoes in North Carolina. We don't get mangoes up there. So I came here and I started to discover like there's so many different species of mangoes and everything. Like, it really opened my eyes up to fruit when I moved down here.
Yeah.
And also going to the Asian market. If you guys have an Asian market in your town, they probably have some exotic fruit in there. They probably have some fruit that you're not going to find at your local grocer. So check out the Asian market. I found, you know, experimenting with fruit, searching it out. That's how I came across a lot of them, by searching them out, you know. Like, you know, that's how I discovered them at the Asian market, you know. And every time I go in there, I might get like one piece of something that I've never tried just to try it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you also can't be afraid to try new things. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least you tried it. You know what I'm saying? It's just remaining open-minded about things, you know. Always remain open-minded about things, because you may have some things that you haven't uncovered yet that you're gonna love, and to uncover things you have to explore. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely,
just don't be afraid to explore, and I say that like in life in general as well. You know, don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to travel. You know, don't be afraid to go get dirty. Don't be afraid to go get uncomfortable for a little while. Shit, even sometimes don't be afraid to go do something dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit.
Exactly.
All that shit, man.
Oh yeah. Gotta have that.
Shit.
It puts the body on like a adrenaline rush for sure to do that when you do something that's unnormed to you. Your body's like, oh fuck, that was fun. I want to try something else now. Now your mind's like, oh, all right. Let's see what else we can get into.
Because you do it enough, and then you realize that each time, all I have to do is keep getting over this initial hump of fear.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'll be done. I'll be through the experience, and I'll be looking back at it like, you crazy as hell. But we did it, and we did it, and we got through it, and it's helped like enrich our lives. It's helped us walk with more confidence. It's helped us believe more within ourselves by going through those experiences, you know. So yeah, man, take some risks, take some chances, man. I don't think there's any progression in letting another person guide your life, bro. So don't let these people guide your life. Don't let these companies guide your life. Like, ask yourself where you want to be, get you a network, and, you know, get a good work ethic. have some fucking faith and trust in what you're doing. And most of all, faith and trust in yourself. And, you know, if you believe in any divine figures, trust that they got your back. You know, do your best to communicate with them to help you, you know, ask for help when you need it. All that shit, man, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, man, we about to come up on 1:30. So we're going to close it out. It looks like we got another part 2 we could do to this.
Hey, you did say this was like a 3-day kind of thing we could do.
You know? So,
yeah.
So change, man. Changes and decision making, man. You know, ask yourself, what kind of decisions are you making? How are those decisions affecting your life? Like, take a good, nice, close look at your life and just realize your decisions are why you are where you are. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of change, and, you know, don't let the fear of changes affect your decisions to, you know, make you make fearful decisions or rash decisions without thinking. You know, take a step back, you know, kind of scope the situation, and then make your decision after you have a clear head. All right, that's another big thing. Clear your head before you make big decisions. You know, don't make impulsive decisions, because that's gonna take you a couple steps back to be on impulse. So, yeah, definitely keep your poise as best you can. You know, and when you got to be real with a motherfucker or aggressive, then it just is what it is, and how it's got to be. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to that. But yeah, man. Take care of yourselves out there, man. How you feeling over there, bro? How you feeling about the new year? You ready?
I am. I get asked all the time of like New Year's resolutions and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going into the new year with resolutions at all.
Yeah.
I've come to understand, man, it ain't making them only gonna let yourself down. I will say that.
This is lifelong accountability. That's what it is.
Yes, that's
like
that's what it is.
Get the resolutions out of here. This is lifelong accountability, bro. Straight up.
That's I'm ready for it. The new year, man, is gonna be packed full of joy, blessings, positive shit for everybody. I'm claiming it for everybody now. Like, everybody's gonna have some good shit happening for them, man. So definitely can't wait to peer back in at the end of next year and peer back to this and be like, everybody, what did you guys, what y'all accomplish this year? You know, let's hear it. So,
and do you also realize that we're filming a New Year's Eve episode, and our episode is gonna drop on New Year's Day? Our new episode is dropping on New Year's Day. It's lining up for us, man. It's lining up for us.
It's perfect. It's definitely meant to be. It is definitely meant to be.
No doubt, man. Well, man, with changes and decisions, we're gonna do another one of this, man. I want to get some more people on too, but we're gonna keep touching on this, because, dude, we just have unlimited things, you know. We could go for hours and hours and hours, but y'all gonna have to wait for some more, baby, because we gotta live life.
Yeah. Come on back, man. Come on back next week. Well, we'll have to talk on it some more. Come on back. Y'all be ready for next week. I'm telling you. Y'all be ready for next week.
I mean, next week is already, as far as a new episode, next week is already done. But, as far as filming, we figured that out.
Oh yeah.
We make it work.
The people, y'all just be ready. Y'all be ready.
Straight up. Because now that we have this momentum going, the more and more people watch, the more they're going to, and the more we talk about these types of things, the more people are going to want to hear it, man, because these are things that we need to talk about, that we need to have open dialogue about, things that we can help one another understand and get through, man. We need to have that community and continue to build that community, man, and just nurture growth amongst all of us, man. That's what the Shinobi podcast is all about, man. Like, that's what we stand for. We stand for many other things, but we stand for that, for certain. All right. Tell the folks where they can reach you, all your social media, if you got any new pages or whatever you got going on.
I'm in the works right now of getting my link tree put together for y'all. So I'll be able to have that on all my social media for y'all to just click on and bam, you had everything. But right now you can find me on IG at Mr. Smoov _24. And there's a dot between Mr. and Smoov. So you can find me on IG right now. You'll always find me on here on the Shinobi podcast. So you guys, I'm excited. I'm on TikTok at Dr. Smoov 24 also. So come on through, man. I hope y'all enjoy it with me. This is gonna be a fun ride this 2023 year. So let's get to it.
What's your last message going into the new year for the people?
Last message: let all shit for 2022 leave it now. When you open your eyes tomorrow, fuck what everybody got to say about the past. You got new shit going on in the future. Let's get to it. Handle business. Let bygones be bygones. Keep it moving.
All right, baby. There we have it. My man, Mr. Smoov. The Shinobi podcast. You can find us on IG. You can find us on YouTube. And I want y'all going to that YouTube page and subscribing. I'm talking about your mama, your daddy, grandma, fucking Aquaman,
aunts,
everybody.
uncles.
Whoever you can get. Whoever you can get to subscribe, put them up on it, man, because we growing, man. We don't want to grow without y'all, man. We want to bring y'all with us, man, because we going up. We going up, baby. Yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, IG, Instagram at Shinobi Podcast. You can also find us on TikTok at Shinobi Podcast 1. Yeah, man, you can find us on all those platforms, man. Hit us up, man. Don't be scared to reach out to us, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we read y'all's comment when y'all comment to us on TikTok too. We read those. Like don't think we're like, oh, we're just looking at them and not saying anything. Like we read them and we converse with each other, and then we're like, let's address that, the next episode, whatnot. So don't feel like we're just we're posting and y'all get the comment and we're not saying nothing. Like we got you. We promise. We got you.
Just make sure you're respectful, man. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
As long as you're respectful, we cool. If you're not respectful, then you're gonna get blocked, and that's just gonna have to be from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna have that type of shit going on in this community. So everybody be respectful, and we can mess with each other. Like that's how we do. We can mess with each other. We can roast each other. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do, but just don't be disrespectful. Oh, yeah. Just don't come up in the Shinobi realm acting disrespectful, because we're gonna have to deal with you. That's all I'm saying. But it's all love though.
Where it's coming from.
It's all love though, man. So y'all check us out, man. I want y'all to go into the new year not with the resolution but with accountability, man. And accountability goes past January 1st. It ain't no one day I'm gonna do this. Like, this is a lifetime that you have to dedicate these things to, man. This has to become a lifestyle that you live, man. Don't make decisions for other people. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Even if other people are involved in your decisions, make sure that you're doing it for yourself, like to the core of you. You know what I'm saying? And let other people benefit from you being the highest version of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, that's what I want to say to y'all. I don't know about you, but I think we should close out with another.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm reading your mind. I'm reading your mind.
I was already there.
I'm reading your mind.
I was already there.
All right, baby. This has been Shinobi Podcast, the last episode of 2022. Man, we got this. We got this forever. Our kids gonna be able to see this, everything, bro.
Oh yeah,
we did it, man. And then we're going into the new year. We got a new episode. Episode 4 is coming out tomorrow at 12 p.m. So, man, we keeping this thing moving. I'm glad we really fucking sinking our teeth into this shit, man, and taking a bite out of it. taking a bite out of the pie and taking what's ours. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, man. I love you, bro, with all my heart, and I can't wait to see how else you progress, like as a person and as a man. You know, and I hope I can, be there to help guide you in some way or give you some type of value. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
That's my intention, So
I appreciate it.
We began with Makami. We're gonna close out with Makami.
Mm-hmm.
Same song we came in with. We're gonna ride out 2022 in style. You ready to get into this thing, baby?
I'm over here. I'm already bobbing because I can hear it in my head now.
All right, here we go. We turn this shit up too. This shit's getting turned up to 12, nigga.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna close out the Shinobi podcast 2022 with Makami. We're gonna hit that Labu once again. Remember, shout out to all my Haitian brothers and sisters. All my homies in Florida. There's too many of y'all to name, man. I love all y'all. Everybody that's been part of this Shinobi podcast process. We growing together, baby. So let's stay together. Let's stay united. Let's keep collabing. And let's never limit ourselves, all right? So we're going to ride out, baby. Makami Labu.
Trouble now. Haitian Republican, more money, septuppling. Close the deal before the Pellegrino stop bubbling. Must got different definitions of hustling, cause when we moved that snow off the stoop, we wasn't shoveling. Before you heard me flowing for loot, they was loving to scoop your mom dukes and show you how to shoot like a butter rim. Y'all see the trim, new mop, extra clean balls. Let's take them back to the swamps with the green moss. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Swear to God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Mothers. I got it out the mud, swear to God. God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Came straight about the muddy waters. You can catch a wave off the name. And we used to make them wave names on money orders. Fuck with the most brolic dames. Hungry monsters. Still got the bland quarters for films. With the smutty daughters. Just last year, I was chilling in my fortress. Went back to the block. They said no cutting corners. I was really picking lemons in the orchards. Now I'm revving the engines on 911 Porsches. I know they tapping my phone, scoping for nonsense. Got horns like Big Ben, overly cautious. They wonder why it's not them on the Forbes list. You wasn't in the right kind of Air Forces. I'm in my duffel, trust me, you don't want tussle. Your flow trash, plus you so ass like the muscle. Oh man, I put the pieces to the puzzle. Bitch, I'm the new Rick, Ruben, and Russell. When I'm masterminding the shit, was no one else here. That's okay. Staying away from these devils is self-care. Sneaker shopping in Bel Air, I'm on my 12th pair. The closet got more loafers than welfare. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Swear to God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. Mothers. I got it out the mud, swear to God. God. Swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God. I got it out the mud, swear to God.
All right, baby. That's the Shinobi podcast. We out this bitch. 2022,
Peace.
baby. Walking to that 2023 with some courage, baby. We love y'all, man. Much love to y'all. Keep supporting the podcast. We're going to keep making it, baby. Spreading this goodness. Much love to y'all. Peace out.
Peace out.